All right.
Right, we're live. Let's go. What's good, Doc G? Hello, Bruce.
Hey guys, Doc G. Gwapong Doc G. Kita sa camera.
Oo nga. Fresh na fresh.
Father Bruce, what up, man? Hello, RJ. What up? How are you?
Oh, bago to si RJ. What's up, man?
Rowan, if you're talking, we can't hear you because you're on mute. Just in case you're talking.
No, I'm doing other things. But yeah, hi guys.
Yun. Hindi ka nagpapakita sa mga fans mo eh.
Yes, Bruce. Gilas this morning. And the next game is actually right after the stream at 8:30 p.m. Philippine time against Georgia.
Oh boy.
So, kalaban nilang next sina Goga Bitadze and Sandro Mamukeshlavili.
I'm gonna butcher those names.
Rowan,
Yeah, it was
sinisisi ka ni
nice.
Bruce, oh.
Kasi one day lang yung yung numbers na yun. Like one day lang siya
One day lang yung
gamitin.
validity niya.
Yeah.
Christ.
Hindi niya agad ginamit eh.
Oh, hi. Hi, RJ. Thank you. Good morning
Hey, Ina.
to you.
Good morning, man.
Which part of the US are you in? How early is the morning? Sana East Coast ka.
Oh, sana East Coast, pucha. Kung West Coast, ibang klaseng dedication yan, man.
Mas dedicated ka pa kay Chino, who does not show up. Does not show up for a podcast from the West Coast. Oh my God, he's from the Pacific Northwest.
Oh shit! From Swerve Country, yo.
Good morning.
Saludo sa'yo. Happy 4 a.m. feels. Tama, 4 a.m. feels.
Yeah. God damn.
Respect, man, respect. We love it. We
Respect.
appreciate it so much.
Wow. Love it.
Julian's
What's up,
here.
Julian? Oh, nga pala.
Tama.
Happy 4th of July. Yeah.
Oh, holiday nga kasi.
Pew, pew, pew.
Ingat sa mga paputok. Sana masarap yung ginigrill ninyo mamaya.
Oh, yeah. May cookout ba kayo? Are we invited to the cookout?
Pwede ba tayo mag-cookout? Isn't that like for the other culture?
If we are invited to the cookout, if they invite us to the cookout, pwede.
Okay. I thought it was an exclusively black people thing.
No.
So, pwedeng ma-invite.
Pwedeng ma-invite.
Hindi mo pwede invite
Diba?
sarili mo.
Siyempre. Siyempre, cookout ng iba yun eh. Invite mo sarili mo. RJ is one of the number of US-based listeners that we have. Maraming salamat. So I guess...
Actually, dumadaming US-based listeners natin. Nakaka-touch, guys. Nakaka-touch.
Hey, are you a migrant, RJ, or have you grown up there? Diyan ka ba lumaki? Love it. Oh, damn. Happy 24 years.
Damn.
A quarter of your life.
Glad we're
Sana
able
all.
to keep the Pinoy vibes alive in you.
All right, time to shut up.
Who's ready for story time?
What's going on? This is Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
Let me talk to him.
Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
Adam!
Hey everyone, this is Jeff Cobb.
I have to finish the story.
We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
Run!
Bang! The sniper is shooting you down. This is TMDK's Robbie Eagles.
Hey, this is the Cosmic Cactus, Paul London.
Hello, my name is Ilya Dragunov, the Czar, the NXT champion, and you're listening to...
And you're listening to...
And you're listening...
And you are listening...
And you're listening
to the Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
To the Wrestling Podcast. Yeah.
You are watching and listening to the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. This is the Wrestling Podcast. Stancy, Romoran, and Rowan ASH checking in on a 4th of July live stream. Nakiki 4th of July din tayo kahit di naman tayo kano, kahit di naman tayo based in the States.
Hey. Let's not forget that July 4 is the actual Independence Day from our last colonizers, Japan.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Japan. I was about to say America, but yeah, you're right. So yeah, a bit of actual history right there. Kind of weird na syempre yung Independence Day holiday natin is still June 12, all things considered. But it's great to have everybody here on the Wrestling Podcast live stream. If you're catching us on the audio-only version, maraming salamat. Please make sure to leave a review and a 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts as we head towards another pay-per-view weekend. Actually, it's a double PLE weekend for us because we've got Money in the Bank on Sunday morning Philippine time, and then we have NXT Heatwave on Monday morning Manila time. So, ang dami-dami nating pag-uusapan. But we got to start with something that RJ Lopez, one of our listeners based in Seattle, is asking in the comment section. Babyface producer Jasper, let's put up the Wrestling Podcast t-shirt, which you can still get over on tinyurl.com/WWP t-shirt. Again, that is tinyurl.com/WWP t-shirt. You can see that in the ticker below. Tanong ni RJ, mabibili ba yan abroad? We will work it out.
No, yeah. Let's make it happen. I think LBC naman diba?
Yeah.
LBC can ship worldwide. So let's make it happen. Ilan na nga lang listeners na ang followers natin abroad. Titipirin pa natin sila.
Oh naman, diba? Imagine that if one of our Wrestling Podcast t-shirts would actually be seen in the US, I would get a huge pop out of that. So,
yeah.
Imagine seeing that in wrestling shows.
Yeah.
Oh,
diba?
yun pa. Oh. Pag kunwari si RJ umupo pala ringside at some WWE or AEW or indie event, diba? Tapos nahagip siya ng camera, tapos nandun yung logo ng podcast.
Tapos alam na natin na si RJ din yun.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yun pa. Ma-out ni RJ sarili niya. Makaka-BDE pa tayo. So yeah. Get your t-shirts now over on tinyurl.com/WWP t-shirt. All right, let's talk about the Patreon community really quickly because all of our conversations in the Discord have been a hell of a lot of fun over the last few days.
Yeah, one of the best ideas we've ever made. Okay, guys, if you want to support the podcast, if you like what we do, if you like the content that we bring you, whether you're in the Philippines or in the US or wherever have you, please do support. Please do consider supporting the podcast on Patreon, patreon.com/wrestling podcast for as low as $5. That's if you're here in the Philippines, that's around 285 pesos. Malapit siya magpumatak ng 300. But it is what it is, right? So you get access to our Discord community and may laging may iced tea na sinaserve on top of usual wrestling content, usual wrestling discussions, WWE, AEW, everything else in between. Syempre nagkakamustahan din kami. It's become a family. If you are engaged, if you care enough to engage with everyone, it becomes a family that is that's actually been safe for some people, diba? So that's pretty cool. That is a big benefit of the Patreon program. And syempre, you get preferential rates whenever we do our pasabays from online, from abroad, from the US, whether you're buying from WWE Shop AEW, Pro Wrestling Tees, Roots of Fight, whatever. Our credit cards are accepted. You get slightly better rates than our non-Patreon customers. Syempre, other perks as well. Special seating sa viewing parties, which we'll have an update for you pretty soon, and but all other stuff, all other good stuff that you can get when you support the show for only $5. So you don't have to stay subscribed for too long if that's not aligned with your current financial situation. If you just want to say thank you for the good content that you like, the content you enjoy, whether we're talking about it on the show or writing about it on the Patreon site. But then, yeah, guys, we don't judge. We would happily appreciate what you can give us if you like what we do. So, maraming salamat. Patreon.com/wrestling podcast.
All right. One more thing we got to plug. WWE on Blast TV.
Oh, Rowan. Ang gambag ka naman.
What?
Kaya mo yan. Kaya mo yan. You've been watching on TV.
Yeah. I watch Blast TV. I don't know how much. Come on, man. Why do I have to do this?
I'll
I'm sorry.
take it.
This is a battle
Just
for
say
me.
the shit. I'll tell you how
Alright.
much. Just say the shit.
Alright, I mean, it's a good place to watch like The Office and especially WWE. WWE on Blast TV. Woo!
Yeah, Blast TV. It's free for Converge and Globe subscribers, Globe at Home subscribers, and 179 pesos for everyone else. Super sulit niyan. As Rowan said, WWE over there, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, other good stuff too, like The Good Place, The Office. Ano ba meron? Basta marami.
Superstore.
Superstore, Heroes of Lucha Libre, if that's your shit. And
Women of
NBA
Wrestling.
Yeah, NBA Vice Atanta in a few months, I guess, when the regular season starts back up. The NFL when the regular season starts back up in a few months as well. Maraming ganap on Blast TV. Super sulit niya, guys. Netflix is coming, but it's not coming soon enough. So until then, please patronize Blast TV kasi ano, para sumaya naman si Mr. Ovation.
Oh, Mr. Ovation, nasa na yan na namin, TF namin. Tagal na namin pinaplug yung WWE on Blast
we've
TV.
We've been plugging WWE on Blast TV for months. Tapos last week lang sila nag-post on their Facebook page about WWE on Blast TV, guys.
So I hope they're finally realizing just the gravity of a wrestling-related social media post in the Philippines of all places. So you're welcome, Blast TV. All right, let's start with one of our new patron benefits. Sabi nga namin, di ba, pag wrestling podcast patron ka, meron kang benefits. And this benefit is may ambag ka sa actual podcast. So we've got a patron question that we're putting on the live stream for tonight. And that question comes to us from one of our patrons. Kanino to galing, Ro?
Kay Ninong Mac. If Ninong
Ayun,
Mac is
kay
here,
Ninong
Mac.
What's up, Mac? So Ninong Mac asks, is Cody Rhodes better off and bigger as a Homelander type of heel? So, inspired to obviously by Cody Rhodes being compared to Homelander, and then ngayon merong execution yung The Boys and Money in the Bank, diba? They've got that brand placement at the Money in the Bank Premium Live event with Cody Rhodes actually emulating Homelander, which is kind of weird because Cody Rhodes is like the biggest babyface in WWE right now, and Homelander is the biggest heel in The Boys. But what do you guys think? Ikaw, Rowan, do you watch The Boys? Do you know who Homelander is?
No. Cody... If Rowan doesn't watch The Boys,
well, I have some thoughts. Go lang.
Answer the question if he's better off as a villain, as a heel.
Okay, here's the thing. Some qualities of Homelander, like based from my research, kasi parang medyo narcissistic siya.
No. Let's not contextualize it using Homelander. The question is Cody better as a heel?
Well, if the storyline calls for it to be a heel, si Cody, I say go for it. Pero as of right now, I think it's better na he should be a babyface, because him being a babyface brings more money in the WWE, since Cody is like one of the biggest merch sellers in the WWE, and he's pretty much the new John Cena, who is kid friendly, and at the same time he is for everyone. For every age demographic, you can be a fan of Cody. Pero if we're gonna talk about Cody being a heel, siguro from the past, some of his characteristics, it fits the mold of who Homelander is.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is a really tough and easy question at the same time. Like, people like to boo people, or people like heels kasi masarap entertaining panoorin ng kupal, diba? But
yeah.
you know how Cena always resisted turning heel, or Vince always resisted turning Cena heel.
Yeah.
I finally get it with Cody. Diba? Kasi he's such a good guy. He's such a good character. He's such a good hero. He knows how to play the hero role. He knows how to play the face of the company role. He's an ambassador. He's savvy as a PR practitioner, both in and out the ring, diba? And I like that for him. I like that a lot. There's something that Cody said when he was talking about turning heel. He said this recently. I just can't remember where. He said that if he has to turn heel, he will do it in a way that walang, there is no space for you to cheer him. Ayaw niyang magpa-cheer. Kukuparin niya talaga kayo. Tayong lahat, rather. And I don't think the world is ready for that right now. I said people still love Cody. People are still reeling from 3 years of Roman, nearly 4 years of Roman Reigns,
Yeah.
and people like the conquering hero. He hasn't overstayed the welcome yet. So remember when the man was technically healed by his own admission the last time was when he was doing the weird lacking self-awareness character in AEW, diba? The ending racism, the being obnoxious na hindi mo alam kung aware ba siya na nakainis siya, diba? That was him being a heel by his own admission. So kung yun ang philosophy niya in playing a heel and portraying a heel, then this world, this universe isn't ready for that. And I don't want that to happen until you know, until everyone is really, really tired of Cody Rhodes as a hero, as a champion.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Rona. He hasn't overstayed his welcome. And I also would like to think na there's still a space for this version of Cody Rhodes in today's WWE. Like, ano pa rin mainit pa rin yung pagiging hero niya, yung pagiging paragon of virtue ni Cody Rhodes. And, you can say what you want about bad guys being cool and everyone being so much more compelling if they had a bit of a mean streak to them. And I think Cody Rhodes does have a mean streak despite being a babyface. That being said, you can't just turn him heel just because it's been 3 months since he became WWE champion. Kailangan pa nung standard bearer ng baby faces, and that guy is still Cody Rhodes. It's the reason why he's your number one good guy in WWE today.
Yeah. Glendale says we love a great heel. We cheer heels. Yeah, because they still want you to cheer them. Diba? Cody is kind of old school in that regard because he doesn't want you to cheer him, nor should any heel want you to cheer them.
Yeah. So thank you so much to one of our patrons, Ninong Mac, for that question. Again, it's one of our new benefits sa ating patron program. So if you want to know more, go to patreon.com/wrestling podcast.
To explain it really quickly, because before we go on the stream, meron kami notes talaga. We have notes, and sometimes we will forget to talk about something that is important. Diba? So actually, a lot of times. So if you are a patron, you get to remind us of what you want to hear. Lalo na kung current event siya.
Yeah, diba? So power to the people. All right, let's go to SmackDown and talk about the evisceration of the wise man. So Solo Sikoa and his new bloodline just laid waste to Paul Heyman. And what an epic segment it was from Paul Heyman and everybody involved. Pero Paul Heyman most especially, to the fact na people were reporting right after SmackDown na hindi siya natulog, na talagang hindi siya nagsishave pag kailangan, if the segment calls for it. So kita mo talaga na he's disheveled, na puyat siya. He has the white streaks and the gray streaks and whatever he's got left of his hair. And then at 58 years old, he takes the Shield powerbomb. He takes the Samoan spike. Props to Paul Heyman for really making himself the ultimate utility tool in this story. And I want to go to you first, Rowan. What were your reactions to the bloodline turning on Paul Heyman when Heyman did the first thing that got people cheering him in such a long time, which is to not acknowledge Solo as the tribal chief?
Okay, so this was a very straightforward way of establishing Solo Sikoa as the new head of the table, or the new leader, the tribal chief, the new leader of the bloodline, with this taking nothing from nobody attitude. And he just acts like he owns the place and everyone who is surrounding him. With Heyman getting kicked out for not acknowledging Solo, this adds more value to Solo Sikoa. This gives me more this gives him more validity of being the new leader. Like I mentioned, this is the new era of the bloodline. I think making Solo more over than uh Girls of Destiny and Jacob Fatu, it's doable naman eh. But the only thing they have to do is wag nilang i-overshine sila Tamatonga, Tangaloa, and Jacob Fatu. And in that sense, Solo won't look inferior to them.
I have a weird problem with how Solo is presented now. Kasi when Roman was on top, he was cool. He was a cool leader. Diba? He not rarely pero seldomly showed his emotions. Pag na rile up talaga siya, 'di ba? And while that was happening, Solo was also painted as the silent rage type. 'Di ba? He was pretty quiet in the background, only speaking when he was spoken to or
Yeah.
when, And now they did a complete 180 on that. Now Solo is now emotional. He's screaming a lot. Tapos hindi pala kasing booming yung boses niya as Roman Reigns, diba? And it's weird. I mean, it feels like it feels like a puppy trying to be a big dog. And I mean, I don't know if you guys get that from it. Like I understand and I appreciate that he's trying hard. He's trying to embody yung tribal chief character. Pero wala pa din eh, there's something it's not the Solo that we approved of when Solo was in the blood was when Solo was still the enforcer of the bloodline, the tribal
Bro, does
character.
it still go back to yung sinabi mo weeks ago na there was that missing story beat? Yung parang pumasok lang si
It's
Solo one day, lahat absent, siya na yung boss.
it's that, and then also I've been trying to watch him closely to see whether he has the aura of a leader, of a tribal
Yeah.
chief. And wala, it's not there. It's him trying to put on big boy pants and the big boy pants not fitting. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. It's not clicking. And if people are if they're afraid na ma-overshine siya ng, as Rowan mentioned, God and Jacob Fatu and whoever else they're gonna bring in, whether it's Zilla or Hikuleo or whoever, even yung isa pang kapatid nila Usos nila Solo, diba? Everyone is really dwarfing him right now. He's not that guy.
Ikaw, Rowan, do you feel it?
We mentioned this in audio only like last week. Na Solo is like the new leader now. Pero parang it's hard to find it in him na he's the new leader. Sure, this segment like last Friday, it's making him like the new leader. Sure, pero may kulang pa rin. I see that. Pero maybe they
You're
have
the
to
SmackDown
work on
reviewer.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to keep on working on this pa.
Yeah, how,
Yes,
how, did,
kulang
how,
pa
how
nga.
should they work on? What do you suggest for Solo Sikoa? How do you make him? How do you buy into him? How do they make you buy into him? Because I said what I wanted to say. I wanted to hear from you, the reviewer of SmackDown.
Okay, I think he should be more violent and
Damn.
talagang he should attack everyone like kasi during the early bloodline like during Roman's time, he acts like he owns the place talaga. Like siya talaga yung ganun. And lahat talaga dinaanan niya. So when it comes to Solo, maybe he has to do what Roman did before. Na parang he will act like he owns the place and beat everyone up, be violent. Like uh let's make Solo like the best version of himself.
So you're saying you find it weird now Solo went from attacking guys for Roman to having other guys attack his opponents for him.
Yeah, pretty much. So
Okay.
parang he's doing the parang he doesn't want his hands to get dirty.
Right.
Other people will get their hands dirty.
Yeah. Okay.
People in the comments, let us know what you think. Ito, question from Dr. G in the comments. Should the Bloodline find a new wise man to replace Paul Heyman?
Actually,
si
may
Alpha?
nabasa ako dito recently, sorry.
Sino?
Some people suggested na Armando Estrada should return and be the new wise man. And I don't approve of that. I think they just want that just for the sake of
Yeah.
nostalgia. Wala lang.
I like it though. But I don't know if Armando Estrada is the same guy from before, from nearly 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love it if he were kasi may connection naman talaga, 'di ba? Mas may connection talaga si Armando compared to Paul Heyman and the Samoans and the Anoa'is. Diba? But I don't think he's that guy as well right now.
People in the comments comparing Solo to David Finlay of the Bullet Club or Evil when he was the leader of as the leader of House of Torture. So
To be fair, hindi naman niya kasalanan. It's yun nga, it's the failure of creative then to do right by him.
Mhm.
RJ asked if this was going to lead to a current Bloodline 2.0 versus OG Bloodline in the future. Yeah, I think that's the play. Because Roman has to be seeing the mess that everyone has made in his absence. So for sure, there will be a reckoning.
yeah, and that reckoning might happen at
War Games!
Diba? So this Bloodline versus Roman, the Usos, and Sami Zayn, I guess. Diba? I mean, who else would you
Yeah.
put in there as number 4? Feeling ko Sami.
Roman and Sammy.
Yeah. I mean, the only other person I can think of would probably be Cody.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we will. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about that NBA and WWE crossover from SmackDown, plus some stuff from outside the ring. But first, let's hear from our other podcasts right here on the Pod Network. Let's stay with SmackDown and talk about Jalen Brunson of the New York Knicks and Tyrese Halliburton of the Indiana Pacers showing up at Madison Square Garden, where si Halliburton yung rest back ni Logan Paul. He actually entered the arena alongside Logan Paul during the Money in the Bank qualifying triple threat. And you had Jalen Brunson, who was set up to be watching from the stands, but from ringside, actually. So obviously, they were playing off of the Knicks-Pacers rivalry, which was renewed nitong past playoffs, with Halliburton being the heel because they were in New York, and Jalen Brunson showing everybody, oh, kinin kamay ko, ito na, I can get a steel chair. And it was pretty fun. Like, for me as a basketball fan, seeing Halliburton and Brunson being part of this. I'm not sure how big of a wrestling fan Jalen Brunson is, pero si Halliburton, sure na sure ako, is a huge wrestling fan. Like, he would wear wrestling merch dun sa mga tunnel walk niya for NBA games. So, you can see naman from how Halliburton was carrying himself na for the most part, he looked like he really enjoyed himself out there. Rowan, I know you're not a big basketball fan, but what did you feel seeing these two athletes from other sports getting involved with LA Knight and Logan Paul?
Well, at first, when I watched SmackDown on that Saturday morning, I was confused because di naman ako aware. I haven't followed NBA since when I was playing 2K12. Pero I did my research afterwards naman, and I learned na there was beef between the two, and it's following from the game that they had sometime, I don't know, months ago. Kailan ba yun?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Couple
Yeah.
weeks,
So
several weeks ago. Yes.
yeah, so I'm not gonna pretend that I know them, pero an appearance like that from NBA players or kahit celebrity pa yan, it's good publicity. It's a win-win situation for all parties. And lalo na there's a rivalry pala na nangyayari dyan. But also, what I like here is that parang they helped establish the feud or the potential feud between Logan Paul and actually it's not potential, it's already happening. The feud between Logan Paul and LA Knight, and that's going to be for the US title soon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. As to whether Jalen Brunson is a wrestling fan, I don't think it matters because he was pretty game to do what they had him do, which is to come help LA Knight. So I think we can consider him at least interested in the game. So that was pretty fun. The MSG crowd is really great. I love I love the energy that they brought in. Tyrese is enjoying himself out there. Jalen was also enjoying himself out there, and the biggest thing about this is that it's a big fu, diba, to people who look down on wrestling and wrestling fans. Say, "Tayo na, these guys, these guys are legit professional athletes in one of the biggest leagues in the world, and they're
Mm.
stoked to be part of the WWE. Saan ka pa? Diba? Saan
Yeah.
pa pupulutin yan? Ano,
Yeah,
who
'di ba kung
cares
yung
about what
mga
you have to say?"
kung yung mga favorite NBA players nyo, game na game maging part ng angle on SmackDown, di ba? Ba't may kakahiya yung wrestling fandom mo? So, really good stuff from Halliburton and Brunson, who were both in Manila last year, by the way. They were actually teammates on that Team USA squad ng FIBA World Cup. So, seeing them go head-to-head here was pretty cool. One
Yeah.
last thing, if you guys...
I have the update on whether Jalen Brunson is a WWE fan or a wrestling fan. So he said, he tweeted right after the appearance on Friday that one, his hand is fine,
Yeah.
and two, he lived out a childhood dream.
Goddamn. Love it.
Yun yung sagot.
I love
You
that
don't
for
you
them.
don't, you don't do that if you're not a fan.
Oh, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Tyrese Halliburton and Jalen Brunson have their own NBA x WWE t-shirts. They're for sale on WWE Shop, and we're opening a new pasabay batch for July. So kung gusto nyo mag-order, eto na, shameless plug. We've got friends who will be ordering. If you want your own Jalen Brunson or Tyrese Halliburton WWE t-shirt, we can hook you up with that. All right? Moving on, let's talk about some stuff from outside the ring. We found out over the weekend that Dijak is no longer a WWE superstar. So nag-expire yung kontrata niya nung June 28. And according to Dijak, WWE did not renew it. So medyo weird considering that just earlier this year, Dijak was in some very hot programs in NXT, and then he got called up to Monday Night Raw as part of the draft. He was part of the draft class. They had that picture, yung mga graduate from NXT. And then he didn't really show up on Raw after being drafted. And then June 28th happened, and Dijak posted that letter and his email address, and he's no longer with the company. So, Rowan, what do you think about WWE and Dijak not really doing anything, not really being able to get any momentum going in this supposed second run on the main roster?
Dijak is one talented guy, and it's unfortunate WWE fumbled the bag on like how to book him, or like putting a place for him in the main roster. I even forgot that he was drafted to Raw. Pero yun nga, WWE tried their best naman to make him special, especially when he left the main roster and returned to NXT. Dijak peaked talaga nung 2019 black and gold era ng NXT, and he is very talented talaga eh. Pero it was when he joined Retribution, and then from there it went downhill. Like I said, he's very talented, very athletic for a big man. I'm pretty sure he will find a better place to do what he loves to do.
Oh, Boss Martin, Boss Lance, ayun yung email niya. You know what to do. Yun yung email niya. Ito, you can see it on the screens right there. You know what to do, y'all.
Imagine
Alright.
damn near 7-footer Dijak showing up at Brawl Pit Bulusan.
Tayo na, untugin sa scaffolding.
Which is actually a realistic thing.
Yeah, actually. Tawag doon, this is pretty sad because when Triple H took over, diba, we all thought that the NXT guys that he signed over they're not all gonna be pushed to the moon because they're from Triple H's NXT, but you would have thought, or we would have thought, or we thought rather, that they would be treated better on the main roster or in WWE in general. And it sucks that meron ng nalalagas na quote-unquote Triple H guys, or at least yung mga big signings niya from the indie scene, that he really worked into NXT because they are, they're names that fans would recognize, internet fans would recognize. Diba? And this is heartbreaking more for me kasi Vince, if Vince lets you go and messes you up, it's fine because Vince is out of touch, right? But when it's Triple H doing that, you know that he knew what you were capable of, and he got you in WWE for a reason because you had a big name, or you had cash from outside the company that you were gonna bring in WWE. diba? So yes, Rowan is right that there will be a place, or there might even be a place right now already for Dijak. But WWE is a big time. It's the dream of many, almost all wrestlers that are in the business, especially if you're in North America. To see that not happen the way you want it to is pretty sad. I just hope that he got to make his money.
Yeah. Medyo nakakalungkot syempre knowing na Dijak was part of Retribution. He actually goes into detail. Like the day after his contract expired, he did an interview with Sean Ross Sapp on Fightful.com, and tinanscribe nila yung pagkwento niya, his account of the whole Retribution deal, and just seeing it all go down. Syempre nakakalungkot, diba, from a creative standpoint. But he was a businessman. He did what he had to do. And like Rose said, I hope he got his money. And he's only 37 years old. And in the business, that's still relatively young.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
For a guy who's 37, 6'7", 290 pounds, or however big he is, that's a lot of value right there. He can be an asset for any company who decides to give him a gig, give him a contract. So I'm looking forward to see where Dijak balls next. Okay, another thing that happened outside the ring was this bombshell announcement from AEW, which took place nung Forbidden Door over the weekend. So, Japan, sagot sa kahirapan para sa mga balak mag-Wrestle Kingdom. You can add this to your itineraries. It's Wrestle Dynasty happening on January 5, one day after the annual January 4 show. Also at the Tokyo Dome, you can see that it is a super show featuring AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, CMLL, Ring of Honor, and Stardom. And, just watching this announcement and seeing it go down, I love what this does for the business. I love how huge this is for everybody involved. And I think the best part is that it's happening in Japan, in a time zone that is very much close to our own time zones. Rowan, what do you think about this piece of news?
Yeah, bukod dun, I love inter-promotional matches. And having to see CMLL, Stardom, those are the promotions na hindi ko naman masyado napapanood. And if I'm gonna see them, tapos it's a collaboration with AEW as well as New Japan, it's gonna be pretty cool. Oh, may Ring of Honor pa pala, I forgot to mention, sorry. But yun nga, this is something to look forward to, and I love interpromotional matches. We might see dream matches as well.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they did this because everyone saw what WWE was doing in Japan as well. Because for those who don't know, WWE is working with Matty Gold and Noah. So
yeah, and Bloodsport.
So this is the wave, the move now, and the more it happens, the better we are, or the better we're all off for everything. May time pa, I guess, to book flights to Japan on January.
You have half a year.
Yeah. You got half a year to save up for it, for both the flight and the ticket to the show. So actually, it might be, the January wrestling pilgrimage to Japan got even bigger. So if you have the cash to burn, you might as well go do that. It's really worth it.
Actually, maraming mga wrestling fans here in the Philippines who do make that annual January pilgrimage for the Wrestle Kingdom show. So it does happen. And if this show also convinces you to make that trip in 2025, by all means, go. It's a great experience.
It's not just a show, guys. It's the first time AEW is coming really close to us.
Yes,
So that hasn't happened yet in AEW's 5-year lifespan history.
Oh, malay niyo si Bryan Danielson mapanood nyo, di ba?
Oh. If he's still around, because this is his last year, remember?
Yeah, but it's, Wrestle Kingdom season. I'm sure Bryan will be active for that.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So, go ahead and book your tickets if you want. Oh, masasabi ko lang dito is, I love it when this is how they tell each other, follow that, motherfucker. Alam mo yun? Yung instead of pot shots and yung mga parinig, you one-up one another with things like this that benefit virtually everybody in the industry. That's how it should be done. All right, let's take another break. When we come back, it is predictions time. Dalawang PLEs natin over the weekend. We're going to start with NXT Heatwave after this quick word from our other kapodcasts right here on the Pod Network. We're gonna start with NXT Heatwave, so reverse chronological order tayo. This is happening Monday morning, Manila time. Saan? Wala dito sa Pinas, actually. Wala. It's not gonna be on Disney Plus. It's not gonna be anywhere you're subscribed to. So, kanya-kanyang diskarte na lang, mga kapodcast. We're gonna start with the kickoff show for NXT Heatwave, and it features a tag team match between Carmen Petrovich and Ariana Grace, two native Torontonians, taking on the team of JC Jane and Jasmine Nix.
Interesting. I got caught up with the story, but I can't tell you who I want to win here. I guess we want Carmen Petrovich and Ariana Grace to win because Carmen's getting a little bit of a push. She's getting more airtime with the whole martial artist gimmick. Ariana's getting over hometown ano nun siya, as the daughter of Santino. Who knows? Maybe the biggest thing that will happen here is Santino showing up.
What a treat that would be.
Diba?
Rowan.
Yeah, this is a nice treat na may pre-show match pa tayo. I'm going for the same team since they are that Ro predicted, Carmen Petrovich and Ariana Grace. For the same reasons that Ro said, I actually like yung beauty queen act ni Ariana Grace. So that's pretty cool na ginagawa nila yun in a wrestling context. So I'm picking her team to win.
I just want to shout out what JC Jane is doing with Cody Rhodes' mask. So if you haven't been caught up on NXT, several weeks ago, nagpakita si Cody Rhodes, and he actually bequeathed his disfigured Cody Rhodes mask to JC Jane. Kasi diba, JC also got her nose broken. So minana ni JC Jane. Super random, but like, I guess that's how they tied it into JC's transformation into something apparently more wicked and sinister than she already is. So she's got the undashing mask going on, which I want to see what she does with it going forward.
So if JC does something dumb and vicious, we have to blame Cody kasi siya yung nag-enable nun. Siya yung kumonsinti nun.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, logic dictates, right? So much for Cody being the all-around good guy.
We might even see her use the mask as a weapon like Cody does before.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well within the realm of possibility here. So thanks, Cody. Next up, let's talk about the NXT Tag Team Championship match. It's the champions, Nathan Frazer and Axiom, taking on Chase U, and Chase U looking to become two-time champions. Meanwhile, my tension between Axiom and Nathan Frazer, because Nathan has been focusing on so many different things all at the same time, except the Tag Team Championships, which ito yung kinanggagalaiti ni Axiom. So, Rowan, what's your prediction for this one?
Actually, last month pa lang, I'm tired of seeing Nathan Frazer and Axiom as the tag team champions. I wanted them to drop it to Gallows and Anderson, pero that didn't happen. But for this time, I'm going for Chase U, and then you know like for that reason of Nathan Frazer not having enough focus, and since that's the case, they might even lose the tag titles with that story. So might as well drop it to Chase U.
May tension din tong Chase U kasi diba, they got their title shot because of Ridge Holland's interference.
Yeah, but you know, Rowan is right. There is not the Axiom and Fraser had really nothing to their names as characters. Okay, they had him do a tension storyline. So, if they don't lose, what are we doing here? So, I want to see Chase U get the win again because the longest running overarching story in NXT history has to be rewarded somehow.
That's right. What I want to see from Chase U is them doing the Freebird rule. Kasi, okay, gets ko, Team A, sina Andre Chase and Duke Hudson. But I want, what's his name? Josh Morrell? Tama, diba?
Sina? Si Riley Osborne.
Riley Osborne. Sorry. Josh Morrell is his other name. I want Riley Osborne to be involved kahit papano. Like if there's a speed lineup with Andre Chase and Riley Osborne in there, diba? Like I just want to see them do the whole Freebird rules type of thing. So let's go Chase U. Yeah, sure. For the mixed tag vibes, right? For the lulz. Okay, let's go to the next match here. It's the Women's North American Championship. Can Sol Ruka snatch Lani's soul and win the championship, Rowan?
I want to see more Kelani Jordan as NXT North American champion more, women's North American champion more. She's been doing great naman in NXT, and I don't see any reason for her to drop the title. Let's just continue establishing her as the NXT Women's North American champion.
Yeah, I actually don't like this matchup. Medyo weird yung face versus face. It should have been someone else, but that's why Kelani Jordan's winning this one. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry about that. It's a match between yung dalawang frontrunners diba, nung ladder match. Or at least Sol Ruka was actually one of those na you guys were saying would be a frontrunner at Battleground.
Yeah, pero Kalani's already here. She's already good, and she's already a face. So I don't. It's weird that pipilitin nila yung face versus face matchup just because Sol Ruka is also good, which she is. She really is. But it should have been someone else for a more compelling story.
Will Sol Ruka turn heel here?
Is she showing signs?
Parang wala naman.
Oh,
but it could happen.
I don't think so. She is pretty. She's pretty dry as a character. Like syempre, surfer chick, athlete. That's it. Diba?
Yeah.
So I guess she needs it, but I don't know if she can handle it. Like it would just be another heel turn for the sake of having a heel turn.
Mm-hmm. Moving on to the NXT North American Championship. It's a last chance match between the Rula, Obafemi, and Wesley. And if Wesley cannot defeat Obafemi, he can never challenge for the title as long as the Rula is a North American champion. Rowan, what do you think?
Okay, I see this is one of those matches with those stipulation. It makes the match predictable. My pick is Wesley, pero this can go in two ways. Like if Wesley loses, he can challenge for the North American Championship, but this also means he can be called up on the main roster. Or we can give him the Sami Zayn 2014 booking. It's like his last chance match against Neville for the NXT title, but he ended up winning. So let's might as well give him the win here.
I don't like the fact that Wesley is making the North American Championship his personality. Like they're trying so hard to make it yung what the Intercontinental Championship was to Shinsuke Nakamura and things of that nature. This is like the second championship on NXT. Like, why is he so hung up? Bakit yung entire pagkatao niya nakahinge dito sa championship na to?
Actually, ito pa pala, sorry. Even if he lost and then he can challenge for the North American Championship, he can still do other programs.
Exactly. Yes.
He can fight for the NXT title.
Yeah. Before you so interrupted me, I was going to say that Julian says Wrestling Logic says the stipulation says Wesley's going to win this, but I say that the stipulation makes it so that Wesley is going to lose so he can finally do something else with his NXT career. Like, why are you so fixated on this one championship? It doesn't even make you main event the show.
Baka no, it's the universe's way of telling Wes, hey, focus on something else.
I mean, like, aim higher. Di ba? Maging ambisyoso ka naman. Alam mo yun? Shinsuke Nakamura main evented Wrestle Kingdom with the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. This isn't like that. Alam mo yun? If they just establish the fact that if you are a top champion, you get the most money, we could say that, Wesley should go after a bigger championship so that he can make more money. So that would make sense to everyone listening and watching the show.
Yeah.
Diba? That's the way to explain it. Otherwise, we're stuck here wondering why he's so resigned to a fate chasing after the North American Championship. I'm so tired of this. Obafemi wins.
Feeling ko nag-peak itong feud nila when Obafemi said, we have an accord in his Nigerian accent. That was like the most badass thing ever. And then yun na yun. All right, last couple of matches for Heatwave. Roxanne Perez versus Lola Vice for the NXT Women's Championship. Rowan, we'll start with you.
Okay, I'm picking Lola Vice. I've been impressed with her work since that match with Shayna from what was that event nung sa UFC
Battleground.
Apex
Battleground.
Battleground. Yeah, I've been impressed with her work. Like in that underground match.
Oh,
I want to see Lola Vice more, and with her winning the NXT Championship, I think she will go straight to the moon and become the champion that she is.
you're
Okay.
talking about the promo. You're talking about the promo.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, Ro, bumenta na ba si Lola Vice sa'yo as a babyface? Kasi I was watching the
I don't.
promo and I get the emotions that Lola Vice was trying to go for, pero parang medyo pilit yung pag-iyak niya eh.
Hindi naman pilit. I felt like biglang ano eh. Hindi siya pilit eh. I felt like okay, she started talking about her mom and that's real emotion there. So
Yeah.
bigla siya naiyak where I didn't feel like the entire segment was scripted for anyone to cry, for her to cry. So that kind of just happened. And then you can kind of see Roxanne kind of not knowing what to make of it or how to react to it. Buti na lang binalik niya to being a heel.
Mm.
You're right though in that it did feel weird, but not because the emotion wasn't genuine. It's just that wait, how did we get here? How did you suddenly
Yes.
bring up your mom?
Oh.
I get it though. I get it as well. Big championship. Again, I go back to saying that if we made it clear na having a championship makes you more money, diba? That would make what she said about the job, about working, about going into MMA make more sense, diba? You can go say that I'm gonna win the NXT championship, the NXT Women's Championship, and I'm gonna go buy my mom a house, diba? Something like that. So it's disjointed. I don't want to trash it because I really did feel that the emotions were real. It's just that it wasn't controlled, diba? It wasn't controlled to get there, you know. And what happens now? Is it going to be a major feel bad? Roxanne retains on Sunday, on Monday morning, and Lola cried for nothing. I don't know. I don't know if she earned babyface status yet. Like 1 month ago, she was going toe to toe with Shayna Baszler in a shoot fight, and now gritty underdog hero na pala siya, which is weird because she has legit fighting experience and she really did. I mean, she quote unquote knocked out Roxanne before this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So why should she be scared of the prodigy? Even if you could say that Roxanne has way more pro wrestling experience than Lola Vice, diba?
Ito,
So
let me ask you, Rowan. Sorry, Ro. Finish your point.
no. I'm just gonna. I don't know. I want Roxanne to win. It's one of those weird spots. Okay, you feel bad if you don't pick Lola to win because she did a really good go home promo, but
Mhm.
you don't also believe that it's gonna happen.
I was gonna ask Rowan kung bumenta na ba sa'yo as a babyface si Lola Vice. Kasi iba yung, yeah, believe na ako sa wrestling niya versus, yeah, I am cheering for her kasi invested ako sa kanya as a babyface.
Yeah, it was okay to me.
Mhm.
Well, yung promo niya like last or yesterday, it reminded me of Cameron Grimes' promo sometime years ago when he was fighting for the North American Championship. So ang nangyari doon, 'di ba, is like naawa lahat sa kanya. Like there was sympathy right there. So people end up making him the next candidate to be the North American champion. So it's gonna be the same case here for Lola Vice.
All right. People in the comments, let us know as we get to the main event, the four-way at Heatwave for the NXT Championship. Trick Williams defends against Ethan Page, against Javon Evans, and against Sean Spears. Rowan, we'll start with you.
Okay, at first when this was a one-on-one match with Javon Evans, formerly known as Jay Malachi, it was predictable. Even though you could say Jay Malachi or Javon Evans, uh, is like a breakout star from the Indies. We see Trick Williams retaining, pero when Ethan Page and Sean Spears were added into the mix, parang mas naging mabenta yung match eh. So, uh, anybody can win this match. So it could be Sean Spears and Ethan Page, who are Canadians, and this will be held in Canada. So it could be either of them, or it could be the rookie Javon Evans. Pero usually in this type of situation, when the champion is like outnumbered, when anybody can be pinned, the champion ends up winning. So I'm going with Trick Williams.
Can't believe that Jay Malachi would end up fighting for an NXT championship. For the NXT championship so soon. I need Ethan Page to win this because imagine being a big signing for the company and then not winning a big match, the biggest match so far of his career, even though it's just NXT. Diba? Kasi it's not him. It's the way he was positioned. He was brought in because they knew he was a big deal, or a relatively big deal. Diba? Sean Spears didn't get that kind of treatment. And, he came in and people were like, "Oh, it's Sean Spears." But Ethan Page was not the biggest star in AEW, but when he came in, everyone was like, "Oh my God, Ethan Page!" Diba?
Yeah.
So if you don't win now, and you're a heel, uh, that's a huge waste of the major hype that WWE generated for him. He knows, he's no stranger to disappointment. Pero
Yeah.
WWE would shoot themselves in the foot if they don't push through with it. So Ethan Page na to. It's the match is crafted for either Sean Spears or Javon Evans to take the fall.
Yeah. All right, magkakaalaman this Monday morning for NXT Heatwave. Meanwhile, we've got Money in the Bank. Our predictions are right after this quick break. So let's hear from our other podcasts right here on the Pod Network. All right, let's get to our predictions for Money in the Bank, which happens Sunday morning, Manila time, 7 a.m. Kasi 7 p.m. Toronto time yung simula ng main show. You can catch it on Disney+. Medyo mapapaaga tayo. Pero at least 5 matches lang. So by like 10 or 10:30, pwede ka na magsimba, kumain, or do whatever it is you do on a Sunday. Let's start with the Intercontinental Championship match. Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. Sami has actually lasted 3 PLEs as the defending Intercontinental Champion. Rowan, does he walk out of Toronto still with the title?
I'm a huge fan of his title run so far. Pero Braun Breaker is really hot right now. He has to continue his momentum. So I'm going to give the win for Braun Breaker.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to see Braun Breaker lose. That's the experiment. Diba? They want him to be the Goldberg of this generation. Gen Z Goldberg.
I guess, yeah.
So why would you have him lose now? Sami Zayn can find a good way to make it, to make it believable, to make winning against Braun Breaker believable. Lalo na siya. He's somewhat of a final boss at this point, right? Pero that's the mystique of Braun Breaker. That's yeah.
Parang it actually reminds me of The Rock and Brock Lesnar from SummerSlam 02. I mean, on a smaller scale to an extent. All right, let's move on to the 6-man tag team match featuring any 3 of the 4 members of the new Bloodline. So that's Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and or Tangaloa against the babyface coalition of Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. Rowan, let's start with you.
Okay, it's gonna be weird if the what can I call this team? The New Legacy. If the New Legacy is gonna win.
Hindi nga Nepo baby si KO ano ka ba?
Well, yeah. So if we're gonna have Team Cody win, it's gonna be bad looking for Solo. Kasi he's like being established right now as the new big dog, as the new head of the table, new tribal chief. So if he or his team loses, I mean, okay, ganito. If Solo is not in the match, maybe they can lose. But if Solo is in the match, they will win. They have to win.
I think it's gonna be Solo and God here.
Mm-hmm.
Kasi that's the most sensible lineup right now. Because it would be weird if one of the God is benched for Jacob Fatu.
What if
Diba?
Solo was benched?
That's that's the dumbest way they could do this match. Because people don't already believe Solo. Diba? They don't already buy into him. Tapos siya pa yung ano mo. Pero that's more than expectable outcome here, diba?
Di ba sabi nga ni Rowan, Solo wants others now to do the dirty work for him.
Yeah.
So, Solo could bench himself and let the God and Jacob Fatu do the thing.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. Pero either way, no matter who it is, they do need to win. Kasi it's gonna be weird if they still come up short. So, yes, we're looking to boo the new bloodline, but we don't need them to be chumps as well. So, new bloodline na rin to, and it would be good for Cody to show that he could still lose in a non-title match.
May bagong bloodline member ba na magpapakita?
I don't know.
Sean
Who
Maluda.
knows?
Nah, do we have to?
Great question, actually. Hindi ko rin alam. I don't make the rules.
Yeah.
Right, next up, the last chance match for the World Heavyweight Championship between Damian Priest and Seth freaking Rollins. If Seth loses, then Rollins can never challenge for the title for as long as Damian Priest is champion. But if Damian Priest loses, then Damian Priest must leave the Judgment Day. Rowan, what happens
Okay.
here?
I'm picking Damian Priest because if Damian Priest loses, this is gonna be a huge loss for him. He will be kicked out of Judgment Day and his momentum will be stopped. He would have a hard time to find his groove or like to find his momentum back. And him being the champion kasi it's what makes him be the big guy in the Judgment Day. So if he loses that, parang he will be lost. We will forget who he is. And
Really?
syempre, lalo
Damn.
na
Is he
kung
that
wala siya sa-
forgettable?
Grabe.
No, hindi naman. Okay, mali na sabi ko. But yeah,
So what do you mean? Okay, kung mali na sabi mo, what do you mean, Rowan?
okay, so basta like his momentum will stop.
What?
Damn. Just like that?
Like that, wala na story if he loses?
I mean, there's gonna be a follow up na
Oh, so may
like
momentum.
gonna happen if he left Judgment Day or if he leaves Judgment Day. Pero ito, if
No,
Seth
no. What you're saying is if he leaves Judgment Day, you don't know, you can't imagine where he's gonna be. You can't imagine just
Yeah,
because kasi wala na siyang group. You don't know, you can't predict in your head, you cannot foresee what's coming next. Even though more than likely there's a plan.
there has to be. Yeah. Pero ito, kasi ito naman, for if Seth loses naman with the stipulation na he will never challenge for the world title, he can still have other programs like kind of we mentioned this in the North American title. Seth can have other programs like fighting in the mid card division and the Intercontinental title. Pero ito lang masasabi ko ha. Damian Priest or Seth Rollins, either men are qualified to face Gunther come SummerSlam, who is the number one contender for the world title and one King of the Ring.
Okay.
So, ang haba-haba na sinabi ni Rowan, sinabi lang niya, either man can face Gunther at SummerSlam. Noted
Yeah,
with thanks.
yeah. Well, either of them would win. Pero ang prediction ko nga dito is Damian Priest.
Yeah. Damien Priest as well. I'm gonna echo what Doc G says in the chat here. Damien wins with Liv's help. Gets gonna yung ginagawa ni Liv. Gets gonna siya.
Which is?
It is the revenge tour, and she really did say that she's gonna take everything from Rhea, and she is. But now I would like to be part of the Judgment Day so I can get a free PS5.
Don't we all, diba? A PS5 and a championship reign as well.
Oh, and whatever they're texting Dom.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the story. I think they found a good way to integrate Liv in all of this.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, best believe magpaparamdam si Liv Morgan at Money in the Bank. All right, speaking of Money in the Bank, let's go to those namesake matches. Let's start with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So both ladder matches, by the way, are sponsored by the boys. This one features Io Sky, Naomi, Lyra Valkyria, Zoe Stark, Tiffany Stratton, and Chelsea Green. I actually like this lineup, but I don't know about you guys, but I think Chelsea Green is the overwhelming favorite here.
Okay, I actually have two picks dito. And nahihirapan ako. Bawal naman yung two picks, so I have to pick only one. My two picks are Chelsea Green and Tiffy time. It's Tiffany Stratton. Gosh. Well, here's what I'm thinking. So Tiffany Stratton is aligned with Nia Jax, who is a number one contender for the world women's world title. So maybe, or the women's championship. Uh, so maybe she will cash in and then have Nia win. Parang ganun. Like, basta nagtulungan lang sila. Or either that, or ginagamit lang ni Tiffany si Nia Jax to her advantage. So come Money in the Bank, she wins the briefcase, and then sometime after SummerSlam, she will get the title.
I it's one of those things I don't know who I would pick. Chelsea Green would be nice, but it would be just for the memes as well.
No, I don't think it's just for the memes. I was listening to You Masked Man show, and then they brought up how the Money in the Bank is a very character-driven prop or
Yeah, I
storytelling device, and
guess.
Chelsea's the biggest character of these six.
Kung ganun din lang, I'd give it to Tiffany. Kasi Tiffany is a character, and I also much rather watch her wrestle. Kung ganun din lang. So that's my pick. My pick is Tiffany.
All right, interesting. So let us know who your picks are. Let's go to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. This should be fun as well. You've got Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso, LA Knight, Chad Gable, Carmelo Hayes, and Andrade. And same podcast, Masked Man show, they brought up na a lot of these guys are involved with forces who are not in this match. Forces like CM Punk and the Wyatt Six and Logan Paul and maybe the Bloodline. So who wins here at may magpaparamdam ba?
Okay.
Not Drew McIntyre, because I think Punk is going to do some shit to lead into the SummerSlam match. Not Gable, because Wyatt Six. Possibly not Jay, but also maybe Jay. My pick is either Jay or LA.
Okay, ako naman, I'm gonna pick Drew McIntyre because putting myself in his shoes, it's pretty tough to lose in front of your countrymen and your family back at the previous premium live event, and naawa na ako sa kanya. So this time I expect CM Punk not to interfere. Drew gets the contract, baby.
Okay.
That's right. We got the great manifester here. Okay. Interesting. Let's note, by the way, na sinabi ni Drew McIntyre on Raw na he was basically gonna cash in the moment after he wins Money in the Bank.
So this match is starting the show.
We don't know that.
If this
Could be
match
in the
starts
middle.
the show, if this match starts the show, then Drew is winning because he said that.
Yeah. He said that on Raw. So hindi natin alam yung match order. I don't know what the match order is as we're recording on Thursday night.
Yeah, if it happens first.
Yeah. All right. So yun, let's put that on record as Rose prediction as well. If this match happens first, Drew McIntyre wins and then cashes in later in the evening. That should be a fun SummerSlam feud, though.
And then doon na siya i-screw ni CM Punk when he's gonna cash in.
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
That's not a bad idea. Yeah.
Drew and the Money in the Bank out of the way, diba? To pave the way for Gunther and his 101 shot at SummerSlam.
The non-year for Money in the Bank.
Look at you, Rowan, actually making things cleaner for Gunther. Jeez. All right, those are our predictions for Money in the Bank. Again, it's happening on Sunday morning, 7 a.m., 1 hour earlier than our usual US start times, US PLE start times. So agahan natin yung gising natin if we're gonna watch on Disney Plus, where I believe it is only available live pa rin, but that's not really our call to make. So yeah. If you have any thoughts or any reactions to Money in the Bank or anything that happens over the weekend, you know where to find us. It is at Wrestling2XPod on TikTok and on Twitter. We've got an audio-only episode coming at you if you want some AEW talk. Doon natin i-break down yung mga malalaking ganap from Forbidden Door and Beach Break. But in the meantime, Rowan, as we wind down, may plugs ka ba?
Yes, I wrote my thoughts with establishment of Puso Wrestling
Oh, yeah.
last Saturday.
No.
So we
I have
haven't
not
published
published
it yet.
Sorry,
We
that's
haven't
my bad.
published it yet, but we
Akin,
will
akin,
publish that
akin.
soon. Yeah.
Akin. My bad. Sorry, Rowan. Okay, I'll
Alright.
publish that tonight.
Alright.
Yun. So go to patreon.com/wrestling podcast.
No,
That's a free
you'll
review,
find
diba?
it. You'll find it on. No. He's writing a column. Good for him.
Oh, all right.
Something like that. The Rowan. It's not a review. It's your thoughts.
Yeah. It's more of a more.
Oh,
Of
look at you writing a column.
Isa ka
Ayan,
ng ganap na periodista.
We'll publish that tonight. Kasi manifest ni Rowan. So
Yep.
you're
Oh.
me.
He manifested it and it will happen. Thank you, Julian, for the congratulatory remarks.
Yeah.
Ro, what do you have going on other than Unmasked?
No Unmasked episode tomorrow. We took a break.
Ooh.
Yeah, sorry. We'll come back next week. We'll talk about Puso and the next show in 2017. So yeah. Till then, if you haven't heard Picks of the Week, he uploaded it last night. It is the first ever. Is it the first ever solo episode of the Wrestling Podcast?
No, I'm pretty sure we've done some solo episodes before,
Yeah.
Really?
like
Yeah.
10 years ago.
SGP, mga SGP.
No.
I heard.
Yes, this is you and me, right? Who?
No,
Oh, anyway,
I'm
I heard
sure we
either
did a
of both
solo
of
ep
you.
at some point.
In any case, this is the first solo episode we've done in a while. I do Picks of the Week because everyone else wasn't free. So go check that out if you were looking for more content. Wrestling Fan 101 also published on Monday. If you haven't heard it yet, no new episodes of Wrestling Fan 101 moving forward because we ran out of ideas to show new fans. So well, stay tuned to that. It's not done, but we are hitting pause on it. So go check that out.
As for me, I've got something cooking for all of you Chinoy podcast listeners, or if you want to know about the culture and our thoughts on it from a millennial Chinoy's perspective. Now steaming, making its return on the Pod Network. Wow. We're about to do the hard launch in a few weeks. So yeah, watch out for that. As for the rest of us, you know where to find us. It is at EML_Meister, at Chino Supersized, at Rois War, at Monday Night Rowan, and for me at _Stan C. Nga pala, go support our friends from Woo World Underground Wrestling. Tagay na is happening this Sunday. If you want to catch some local wrestling, it's at Brawl Pit Bulusan.
I'll be on
always.
Commentary as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and go say hi to Rowan para di siya lonely.
Yeah, kung may paki kayo sa akin, just say hi to me.
Wow. Okay.
Such a sad boy thing to say.
Yun.
When did you come from Smallville, Rowan? All right, we got to get out of here. Thank you so much to everybody who joined us for another episode of the Wrestling Podcast. Thank you, babyface producer Jasper, and everyone over at the Pod Network for all of the help behind the scenes. For Ro Moran and Rowan ASH, as well as Emil Nate and Chino Liao, who can't be here tonight. My name is Stan C, saying stay safe, stay dry, and don't be a dick. Wrestling Podcast out. Bye, guys.
Peace. Thanks, guys.